So, you might remember that I yesterday made a Dragon Age video that we had new information on the new Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and I was worried because there are still multiplayer elements, live service elements that are felt in the recent information that we saw from Tom Henderson. And all of a sudden now someone just was like on the Reddit page of Dragon Age like, yeah, let's leak footage, let's leak screenshots. So today we're going, I guess, over leaked screenshots and gameplay. Take this all with a grain of salt of how it looks. It's pre-alpha. Keep that in mind, it's not the final look of the game. I believe the skybox isn't even ready yet. You will see that it looks very dark, but it's actually outside. But skybox isn't working. Let's get all into the news. Sit back, relax, enjoy, take a beverage, and let's get on with the news. So, let's do the first thing that you've all come for, which is the leaked stuff. So first, there is one gameplay clip that we're going to take a look at. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of screenshots. So first of all, I'm just going to describe and show you guys what I see. So I will show you, of course, the footage here on screen. So the first footage we see here is basically a GIF of a knight, shall I say, doing the combat. You see some of the combat footage here. I see the UI here. You have your standard, I think this is a Xbox button because it's Y. Maybe it's being played test on a PC with a controller. You see L+3 is probably like a special attack. You have the health bar. You have the enemy standing in front of the, shall I say, knight character. And you can see that the combat is pretty active. It was in the video, my last video, that I said that the combat system was more action focused. But this doesn't really look that Final Fantasy 15 to me. So I said in my last video that the combat would be very Final Fantasy 15-esque. I was wrong about that. I made a mistake actually in that video. The combat wheel looked like Final Fantasy 15. But this gameplay looks more to me like something like God of War. It looks very active. So normally Dragon Age is a very strategic game as you switch party members and stuff like that. And they did confirm that you cannot switch party members, so that's going to be interesting how that's going to handle. In game, can you perform actions with your party members? Let's take a look at some of the other leaked images. Weishaupt, that was also in the leaks. That's, I think, the location. Defeat the dog spawn, destroy the spawn boils. And you see here some dialogue between a Rook and Darwin. They're worse than Darkspawn on the way, and walls won't hold it back. So this is probably a attack on some kind of maybe like a castle or something, and they are trying to defend it. Let's take a look at the second picture we have here. I think a male from the back with long hair. There's worse than Darkspawn on the way, and the walls won't hold it back. Okay, so that's the same dialogue. That's kind of weird that they repeat the dialogue here. So we have here another picture. Maybe it's different scenarios with the same dialogue. So maybe like 7 different times taken and the same dialogue is playing. That's probably what's going on. And we see here the knight with fully equipped with armor, and this time also with a helmet as well. And here the objective marker says get to the library. We have another one with the same dialogue, and you see here this right block. It's probably the playtester's name that has been scribbled out. And you see here some characters, some elven characters, maybe some dwarf characters as well. We have another picture at this big door, and they are trying to push it open. So maybe they need to escape from something, I suppose, or maybe they are breaking in. I don't know what's in the background. Maybe it's some big monster or something. It's not very clear. It's also supposed to be missing textures, stuff like that. So this is, of course, yet again, not final footage. And we have here a look at the menu, actually. And you see here 99, 99, 99. So that's probably like developer codes to have the maximum stuff of everything to test out gameplay mechanics. You see here, let's see, the armor sets that you can change. This is an elven character. You see the ears. You see powers. You see the back inventory, skills, collections, companion step. There is a specific companion step. So I do think companions will play a role in gameplay somehow more than just using them in battle. I think you can maybe do specific powers with your companions, even though you're not able to switch to play as a companion. And you can see here the base damage, but also I think maybe it's a rarity. Level 0, rank 4, maybe you can rank up the weapons and you have these empty slots. Same as God of War, how you in God of War can put these like emblems or something in your weapons that will power up your weapon. And I think it's the same thing here with these weapons. Pretty interesting stuff on this menu. Of course, keep in mind this can all change in the final game, so don't take it too seriously, even though I do like how the UI looks. UI wise, like the design already looks pretty nice to me. We also have some new details towards the gameplay from this leaker. Let's take a look at those. Combat is completely in real time and similar to a hack and slash. I'm told the guiding reference point was the God of War 2018, and that shows. Yeah, that's indeed shows if we take a look at the gameplay that I showed you. I even made a comparison to that game. Player has their regular combo attack and their abilities, as well as a special bar which generates, allowing you to pull off a special move, like I thought already. I don't really understand the comparison to the Final Fantasy 15 wheel. It's standard Dragon Age ability wheel. There was no party control demonstrated. I think it's safe bet to say you will not be able to directly control your party members in the game. That said, you will likely be able to tell them to execute certain abilities, but apparently that was locked off in the alpha. Okay, that's interesting. So, like I said, like I speculated, your characters will probably be able to pull off some moves or special abilities. The most immediate thing you noticed is that the animation quality has drastically improved. Like for any other AAA title, it's probably not a big deal. But we've never seen animation quality this good in any BioWare game. I didn't actually play it, but I can tell it probably feels really good to control your character. No more stiff animations. It's all very fluid. Yeah, maybe compared to other BioWare games like Mass Effect and stuff like that, and all the Dragon Age games. But to me, it still kind of looks choppy because it's pre-alpha. Jumping has also been retained, so rejoice if you enjoy jumping a lot in Dragon Age Inquisition. As the character was a sword and shield dude, he was able to parry attacks from enemies and follow up with counters. It's hard to tell their exact abilities. They only had 2 on hotkeys along with a special, but one appears to basically be a drop kick and the other a charged sword attack. I'm not sure exactly what the special attack does. That's pretty interesting. Now that I'm thinking of the gameplay that I've seen, we can kind of compare this to Final Fantasy 16, how Final Fantasy 16 actually drops the control of party members and is more a action-focused combat system with, I think, the combat designer for Devil May Cry on that team. And I think this Dragon Age game is basically going the same way as in combat-wise being fully action, and your companions basically doing just special moves and stuff like that. The UI is similar to Dragon Age Inquisition, but this is also alpha, and UI is the last thing finalized in any game. Of course, that's true. Character has a chest slot and helmet slot and primary weapon slot and a shield secondary weapon slot for accessories and a amulet slot. 1 belt slot and 2 ring slots. Oh, and the player character's hair looked glorious. Yeah, we were able to see that. Enemies were pretty much just variations of Darkspawn, except the dragon. But again, They seem to have red lyrium powers. Okay, so maybe the big monster in the back was a dragon. I wasn't able to see that, but yeah, pretty interesting information. I feel still mixed, but I have seen now positive stuff as well. I like the fact that it's an action combat system. Now, I'm not the most hardcore Dragon Age fan. Maybe you can notice that already. I don't know much about the Dragon Age franchise. I only played Inquisition. So story-wise, I can't really speculate on what will be new in this game. But I just hope it's a full single-player game. I don't want live service elements to still feel it like a live service game. But when I'm seeing the combat in action, this could actually be an interesting game after all. And the UI looks, to me, pretty good. At least the menu from what I've seen. So we shall see how Dragon Age Dreadwolf is going to work. And if we're going to see gameplay anytime soon, maybe around E3, I wouldn't be surprised. But I do think this game is still some time away. I don't think it's going to release this year. I think it's going to maybe... No, well, anyway, there are playtesters, so maybe it can still release at the end of this year, but I'm more thinking of next year, to be honest. So, long video. I had a lot of information. Maybe process it. I have to process this as well. Thank you guys for watching, as always. What is your opinion on all this leaked screenshots and gameplay and this information? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video, that would help me a ton. Subscribe to the channel and also don't forget to ring the bell to get notifications for my videos. And visit my description, my social media in the description down below. I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt game news video. Bye bye.